Israel, the US, Europe, so many Western leaders are accusing Iran of building a nuclear weapon. Are they all lying?
Of course. Of course. I mean, is Israel a credible country to say something and that we trust them? Have they showed credibility? The West, have they showed credibility in their past records? Americans themselves who have used nuclear bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and now they are saying, even in the last report by their intelligence organizations, agencies, they said it. I mean, they admitted that Iran does not have the nuclear weapon. It has not yet, from their perspective, intended to go into the path of producing them, but we are afraid of their intention. They are intention reading. I mean, how can you read the intention of others?
But then why are they saying it? Why are they accusing you of all this? Why are they lying?
This is a good question. Because Iran lies in a very important region, which is called the Middle East. I would probably say, if it is not an exaggeration, Middle East is the heart of the world. You know, history started from the Middle East. You have all the prophets, all the dissemination of thoughts, knowledge comes from this beautiful part of the world, okay? So this is the center of the world. And also it happens that it is a source of energy as well, oil and gas and whatever. So this is a very strategic place, the Middle East. There is a country in the Middle East called Iran, okay? This Iran, 30 years ago, decided not to be the lackey of the West anymore, not to revolve in the political orbits of the West anymore. They decided to be independent. A country with the potential of Iran, with the capacity of Iran, to be able to make independent political decisions will have its repercussions and impacts, not only on the region, but in the entire world. And for arrogant powers, such as the Western powers, it is very difficult to see a developing country, its political decisions to make impact on the dynamics, the political dynamics of impact on the international political dynamics. This is one. Second, the one very important point that concerns this issue is our stance vis-à-vis the Palestinian issue. We, ever since the revolution, have decided that we stand behind the oppressed and we stand against the oppressor. We believe the Palestinian people have been oppressed and they have been driven out of their land, and we are supporting their cause. That's it. Our support is a very authentic support. That is the whole thing. It's not a verbal, it's just not.
So the West is just blackmailing you, is that what you're saying?
Yes, for the case of Palestinian issue. If we just tell the West, okay, we don't care about the Palestinian issue. As they say, why do you care about the Palestinian issue? Because you are not an Arab state, and you are somewhere, I mean, you are far away from Palestine. So why do you care? I mean, just be as indifferent as so many other countries in the world. And then we will have the best of relationship with Iran. But of course, we are paying dearly for our principles. This is in fact the point of strength of Iran. Iran has paid dearly in the past 30 years for its political stance. But this, in the long run, it will pay back. People will find out that there is a country that stands firm on its principles, and eventually, as we say in our language, we say that eventually truth emerges. You may subdue truth for some time, but you cannot subdue it forever. So it will emerge.
Right now, Israel is again and again, Netanyahu is again and again accusing Iran of developing nuclear weapon, and Israel keeps threatening Iran with an attack?
Well, first of all, we take every little threat serious, even if it comes from the weakest country in the world. We will take it very serious. But this does not mean that Israeli claims or threats are by themselves really, I would say, real threats. They are fake. Who is Israel? What is Israel? It is such a small entity that it cannot withstand 1 week of real war. Not 1 week. If Israel ever makes this mistake, that will set the time for the end of Israel. They know it very well. What is Israel? We don't consider Israel a country. Israel is an entity, the extension of the US influence in the Middle East. Yes, we will be confronting the US. So the threat of Israel, we do not consider the threat of Israel itself per se. We really do not look at it as a threat. The threat could be the US. And Israel is an extension of the US. So let's not give Israel a weight on this issue, because Israel has shown its weakness in the 33 days of war with Hezbollah and 22 days of war with Hamas. Israel is not really a realistic country or something real. It's a fake country.
But if Israel attacks you, what are you going to do?
Well, they will see the response then. Do you think that Israel, if they were sure of the consequences of their attacks, they would have just kept on threatening and wouldn't use force for whatever reason? No. They would have used their force right away. Look what they do in Gaza. Because they know they have the superiority there, each time they come in, kill 20 people, 30 people, 100 people, go back. They would have done the same with Iran, but they know any wrong step taken by them, it will initiate a process that nobody knows what the consequences will be.
What is the response from Iran going to be if you feel threatened?
Of course we will respond forcefully. Forcefully. That is without any doubt, without any ambiguity.
Because you have missiles which can reach quite a few areas in this region.
We have enough power to defend ourselves beautifully. We defended ourselves in the imposed war when Iran was in its weakest time. We were just out of our revolution. We had almost no army, no nothing. And the Saddam regime attacked Iran. We stood against the Saddam for 8 years, despite all the support given to Saddam from America to the Soviet Union at the time. And we were under sanction. We were not even given a piece of, the smallest piece of weaponry and equipment from outside. We stood for 8 years, but now Iran, it's in its strongest, I would say, moments. We are self-sufficient militarily. We are producing all our military equipments. We have a beautiful army, integrated army. We have the Sepah, which is called the Revolutionary Guard. And we have the Basij, which are almost 10, 15 million people, ordinary people. And economically, we are very strong. I mean, in all aspects, Iran it's in its strongest phase now. So, of course, we do not welcome any confrontation from any side. We do not welcome that. No wise man really welcomes confrontation and war. But just as the case in Iraq, if a war is imposed on us, if it is imposed on us, we will defend ourselves beautifully.
But are you preparing yourself for a war? Are you building up for a war right now?
We have taken all threats serious, yes.
What does that mean?
Yes. In other words, we are on alert, and we are very vigilant.
I mean, so you have like a plan if something happens. Is that the stage we are at right now? Because if you listen to the US media, it seems like Israel can attack anytime. So what is the response?
This Israel attack has been since 4 or 5 years. I mean, each time, in the spring, in autumn, then in summer. And now recently they have said, well, it is not in weeks, not in months, but certainly not in years. Let them speak. I mean, Israel wants to regain its stature that it has lost.
They're just words at the end of the day from Israel.
Yes, it's words, but nevertheless, as I said, we take any threat serious. So we prepare ourselves.
But how are you prepared yourself? Can you just give me an example?
Well, militarily, economically, socially, in every aspect.
The reserves are in? I mean, is there something like that?
No, we are not worried about this. Of course, we do not welcome confrontation. This does not mean that we want to confront anybody. We do not welcome,
no,
but
are
we
you on alert
ready.
in a way that you have like the reserves from the military, you have like the leaves are postponed? I mean, is that kind of thing?
Yes, we have full, I would say, readiness for any, to face any kind of attack.
What is the solution to all this?
Rationality, wisdom, prudence. That's it. All we want, rationality from the side of the West. What has Iran done? What have we done? Other than just supporting the case of Palestinian people? Do we have to pay the price so dearly? We will pay it. We will pay it. But is this a rational way of confronting a country like Iran? And do you think that Iran will relent under this pressure? We have said it many times over that we have 3,000 years of history. You seldomly find a country in the world that has its own government for 3,000 years. Iran has been there for 3,000 years. We have seen all these ups and downs.
Some people would say the easiest way to find a solution and finish all this would be just to stop your nuclear program.
Why should we give away our rights? Why should we give away our rights? Does any, I mean, there are so many things we can ask the US to give up. Will they? Give up their nuclear weapons. Give up your arrogant attitude. Stay away from this meddling into the affairs of other countries. Do they? Will they? As if they are the father of the world. I mean, the custodian of the world. They put their nose into every hole they see.
Is this like a Cold War going on between Iran and the US?
I don't know what you call it. We are not looking for any kind of war, whether hot or cold. We are looking for rationality. We are looking for wisdom. We are looking for prudence, providence, whatever.
All right.
This is what we have said it many times. We are rational people. We are logical people. We have not interfered into the affairs of any country. We have not attacked any country in the past 200-300 years. We have been going on well with our neighbors, 15 neighbors. If there was any harm, it was from our neighbors upon us, not the other way around. We are peaceful people. We are the people who have produced the best poets in the world. Hafiz, Sadi, Mawlavi, Maulana. This is a land of richness. This is a land that has produced love, beauty, art. This is not a land of war, of atrocities, of meddling into the affair of others. We don't need to meddle because we are a great nation. We are a rich nation. We have everything. God has given us all the graces.
If Israel attacks you, let's just make a scenario. That's what the buildup is. If Israel attacks you, does that mean that Iran will attack Israel and the US bases in this region? Is that the scenario we can,
Well, I'm not going into the details of scenario and telling you how we are going to respond, we will be responding very forcefully.
Against US and Israel?
And we will be responding very forcefully. Because that will be a war of, that will not be an ordinary war. It will be very, I hope they don't make this mistake.